way. I know if you want to alt tab out, it can be kind of annoying, but the least amount of input lag is always the best. And then obviously have your monitor selected here. Make sure you're on the right monitor if you have more than one monitor, and make sure your refresh rate is set here. VSync you want disabled, menu VSync you want disabled. VSync is going to give you more input lag as well, so you always want to disable VSync no matter what game you're playing. But if you're getting a lot of screen tearing, you could enable VSync and that would fix that issue, but keep in mind you're going to be adding a little bit of input delay. Next we got Nvidia Reflex low latency, which I keep on just enabled normal. Obviously, if you have an AMD graphics card, you're not going to have this setting here, so just ignore that. Display resolution, just make sure whatever resolution monitor you are using is set here. I'm in 1080p, so it's 1920 by 1080. It should be set to what it's supposed to be by default, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. And aspect ratio should be automatic. These should just be set like this by default. Moving down, we have field of view, and for those who don't know what field of view is, the higher this setting is up, the more you're going to see around you. So I like to play at 120 so I can see as much as possible, and it makes you feel like you're kind of running faster. I'm sure most people know what field of view is, but just in case you don't, there's that. And then for ADS field of view, we have affected or independent. This is really going to be your personal preference. I play on affected. Basically what affected does is when I'm playing on 120 FOV and I ADS, I'm still gonna be at 120 FOV while I'm ADS'd, but if I switch this over to independent, when I ADS, it's gonna look like it's scoped in more because it's gonna ADS to the default FOV of the game. Also, when you're on affected, it looks like you have less recoil, even though you don't have less recoil. It's just kind of a visual effect, so it makes it feel like you have less recoil, which is also really nice. For frame rate, I put it at unlimited just because I'm trying to squeeze as many frames as possible out of this game. And scrolling down, I have my texture quality on high, I have my model quality on high, I have my special effects quality on medium, screen space reflection is disabled, I put object view distance on low. I've noticed no difference with this view distance being on low and high. Everything looks the same. So moving down, we got volumetric lighting, which I put on low, shadow quality on low, dynamic shadows disabled, special effect shadows disabled, weapon shadow disabled, and then all three of these ray tracing settings, if you have them, I have disabled. And then Nvidia DLSS I have disabled. These last four settings right here, all the ray tracing and the DLSS, you will only have if you have a newer Nvidia graphics card. So if you have an older graphics card or an AMD graphics card, you're not going to have these settings. Then I have anti-aliasing quality on high, ambient occlusion quality disabled, motion blur disabled. You never want motion blur in any game you're playing. It's just going to make things hard to see. The motion blur quality we have low, which this doesn't matter because we already have motion blur disabled. And then subsurface scattering I have disabled, order independent transparency disabled, and then VRAM usage target I put this to high. If you're starting to get like some stuttering or the game is hitching or it happens to crash frequently, then you might want to set this down to default or low. So with these settings enabled, I'm getting a little over 200 FPS right here, but in an actual game, I'm normally getting like 150, 160. The frame rate is just higher because I'm in a private match right now and there's not a bunch of stuff blowing up and people running around everywhere. There's just nothing going on. And then I'm going to show you guys the settings for just completely maximizing your frames. So if you want to completely maximize your frames without making your game look completely blurry and disgusting, you're just going to want to lower your texture quality to medium, your model quality to medium, and then you're going to scroll all the way down to Nvidia DLSS, and you're going to want to put this up to performance. Now, if you don't have an Nvidia card or you have an older Nvidia card, instead of switching this to performance, you would want to
core domination. Securing Alpha. A locked down. We've pulled ahead. Capture the objective. Enemy is Charlie. Securing Bravo. Hostile spy plane established overhead. Losing A. Bravo locked down. Losing Bravo. Enemy counter spy plane inbound.
I'm not gonna bet it.
We lost B. Enemy spy plane inbound.
That's first test is
We've fallen behind. Securing B. B locked down. We're in the lead. Losing B. Taking Charlie. Enemy took Bravo.
Hostiles took out your jammer.
saying 6.
no,
Go
we're going
fucking
like
off
this,
yourself, you camping little bitch.
Switching sides. Take the objectives. Securing Charlie. C secure. Enemy has A. Enemy has B.
Ready to commence overflight.
Enemy napalm strike incoming. Hostile care package inbound. Enemy spy plane inbound. Enemy counter spy plane inbound. Multiple hostile spy planes detected. Taking Bravo. Hostile artillery targeting active. Hostile counter spy plane established above. Artillery inbound.
Commencing a recon overflight. On standby. Arc overflight at waypoint reached.
Losing C. Bravo lockdown. Now C.
Appreciate the intel. Been 3, tack 'em out. War machine ready for use.
Taking C. Losing B. C locked down. Enemy napalm strike incoming. Enemy spy plane inbound. positions locked down. Dig in and hold them.
Your VTOL escort is returning to base.
Losing Alpha. Enemy took A. Hostile spy plane established up here. Taking Alpha. Losing Charlie. All locations secured. Hold your positions. We're taking control.
Right. Fucking lose.
Great
Camping
job,
faggot ass
CIA.
bitches.
No muss, no fuss.
Goddamn niggers.
Excellently
You guys
done,
fucking
gentlemen.
suck.
Excellently done.
Yo, shut the fuck up, trash.
You also have the same spot all game. Kill yourself.
Bro,
You just sat in the window.